Well, here we go, Sean. A new endeavor. We rolling out the initial Moneyline Madman today. How are you doing?
Good. Let's go.
Are you ready to go get it? For sure.
Absolutely. The only thing better than this
Well,
is when we start football. That'll be Christmas.
well, yeah, except when I'm up at 6 o'clock in the morning and you get to sleep an extra hour compared to me. But anyway, before we get started, we'll talk a little bit about what makes us a little bit different in the way we do things. I'll let you go ahead and explain or describe your selection style. Then I'll go ahead and talk about mine.
So
tell us, how do you do it?
So I'm more the old school. I watch as much sports as I can. I look for all the trends, play the hot team, look for the value. So I'm, what you see, what you can research, what you can find, and where the value's at.
All right. I mean, I'm more the numbers nerd. I have all the Excel sheets. I have all of the, go through a ton of data. Then I do regression. I do correlation analysis. I'm looking for value too. So for example, the way I do power rankings, if there's a road team that has a positive power ranking, they win approximately 54% of the time with a plus line. So just winning at 54% is good enough. But if you win at 54% and have a plus line, that's the old cake and eat it kind of thing too. But we'll stick with just cupcakes instead of the entire cake, because where I'm at anymore, I can't afford to eat too much cake. Let's see if we can eat some cake today in terms of some winning picks. How we've done so far. I think I'm 3-4, just a few dollars below break even. I think you're 3-4, just a few dollars below break even.
Yeah, you're a little bit better than me because you did a $5 bet and I was sticking to the 30. So I might be, about $30, $34 behind, and you're only a couple bucks behind.
Yeah, I just did the $5 bet on the Sunday PGA thing. I figure it's not a bad bet. You got a guy who's one stroke off the lead. You got plus 750. It was well worth the risk. I was deciding between two people. The one I picked went on and win in overtime in extra holes. The one I didn't pick blew up, got a 6. Played golf like I do, like I did today, as a matter of fact, this morning. So it's the way it goes. So what are your thoughts about Chris Paul finally making the NBA Finals?
Yeah, it's good for him. His antics last night were a little crazy with, the flopping and everything else. But, got to do what you got to do. They'll change those rules next year.
No, they're not going to change the rules. What did Van Gundy say? It's a sissification of the league?
Yeah.
Did we just get banned like Gundy or what?
Yeah. And then Patrick Beverley's antics too. That's even crazier. And some players, you saw them coming. I'm surprised nobody else jumped in.
Maybe DeMarcus Cousins is right. Have you read his comments about it? I don't know. I mean, Chris Paul should be happy. He's been in the NBA all these years. The first time in the finals, he should be happy about that.
Oh yeah, and he was thrilled at the end. And like I said, it was much deserved.
So tonight is the NBA conference finals between Atlanta and Milwaukee. Looks like Giannis is out for sure. That brought the line from plus 5.5 for Atlanta, so minus 5.5 for Milwaukee, down to 3 right now. Looks like right now, despite the line movement, despite no Giannis, that the so-called smart money, if you will, is on Milwaukee. Do you think they're smart for taking Milwaukee without Giannis?
This is a tough call. This is kind of like last night. I've been all about the Clippers, and Clippers steal one in Phoenix, and then you think, okay, Clippers can get one at home. So now everybody's kind of feeling confident on Atlanta, and usually when you start feeling confident, Milwaukee will win. But I don't know where to go on this one. We still got to find out about Trae Young too.
Mm-hmm.
But that might not make a difference because without Trae Young, Atlanta is 2-0 versus Milwaukee, and their defense is a lot better without Trae Young.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, I don't know about that one either. I mean, I thought without Trae Young last game, there's no way Atlanta's going to win, right? That's the conventional wisdom. And then they come out and just spank them like parents in the 20s when their kids acted up.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Atlanta, and when FanDuel had a special about Milwaukee winning, I had to take them with Young out, and they actually did a good job. They honored the bet when Giannis got hurt, and I did good because I tried to salvage it. Once I saw him go down, I bet 150 the other way, and it was only down 50 at that point. I'm surprised they let out when Giannis went down because you could tell he was not coming back.
Yeah, that one looked horrible. I mean, in terms of how they played after Giannis went down, As for the total's 215 right now. It looks like the money's pretty evenly split. The bettors out there, the public, not sure which side to take on that. But once again, it looks like the savvy player is leaning to the under 215.
Yeah, and that one I might agree with more, especially if Young's out, Atlanta's defense, and Milwaukee's going to be, it's going to be a new thing without Giannis out there. So we'll see. I mean,
So
their
do you have
defense
the courage to do anything tonight on this game or not?
No, I was leaving this one alone. Maybe as I'm watching and you get a better feeling, you could jump on something, but I'm not touching it beforehand.
So when you bet in game, when you say you get a better feeling, what do you mean by like? Did you see how the momentum swing is moving, or one team gets out to a big lead and the run's coming back the other way?
Yeah, you could do that. Like jump on a team. The lines are always over-skewed by the beginning. How many times do we watch a team get out 10, 15 points and you think the game's over and the other team comes back? So you can look for value there, or the under and over. If they come out scoring a lot and it's not going to last, you can get under at a high value. So
well,
it's
for
all
me,
kind of a touch and feel thing.
Yeah, for me, it feels like this game is unbettable because you don't have Giannis. They got stomped without Giannis, although the line didn't move enough. So Giannis is only worth 2.5 points. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what Vegas says. So maybe you might not max contract that guy. As for me, I have Milwaukee. I use Excel, so I simulate 1,000 games. In my 1,000 game simulation, I have Milwaukee winning 108-106 with Atlanta covering almost close to 56% of the time. And I have the game a total of 213, 214, somewhere in that range. So right on that 215 mark, too close for me to call. But I do have the game, according to my simulations, going under about 57% of the time. So if I were going to play this game, I would play Atlanta or the under. But I am going to personally pass. Same for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna pass. Sometimes you just want to watch a basketball game and bet on it, but smart thing for me right now would be just to stay away from this.
Yeah, can you do that? So we'll move on to Major League Baseball. We got a couple games going right now. I went out this morning. One of the plays I have live right now, I have Oakland run lining Texas. Texas is up 2-0. So that's not working very well for me right now. But it is a game maybe that I might consider putting some money in game on Oakland to catch back up and maybe win this game, because Texas's bullpen's not all that good. Oakland's a pretty good, solid home team. But, chasing bad money for good is really not the best betting strategy.
No, I get burned with that a lot when you really think a team's going to win. And if you're wrong, you're just wrong. Let the bet sit there and lose that original bet and don't compound it.
So it looks like the Miami Marlins Philadelphia Phillies game has changed a little bit. Earlier in the day, I took the Phillies when they were minus 124. That line moved to 115. Looks like there was a pitching change there. Matt Moore is now pitching. I think Vasquez or something like that was supposed to pitch. So that messed up my play for the day. I still think Philadelphia is probably the better team than the Miami Marlins, particularly at home. They have a much better home away run differential than the Miami Marlins do. So I think maybe you do get some value with the Philadelphia Phillies at plus 115. I know you said that you liked Miami in this spot. You probably like it more now.
Yeah, I was thinking Miami. Phillies bullpen is just so bad. And the Marlins bats woke up yesterday against Aaron Nola, which was surprising. I would have thought if you were taking the Phillies, you'd take the Phillies yesterday, and that did not work out too well. So I would either leave it go or bet on Miami. Phillies cannot be trusted right now. I had them last week when they were up 5-0, then it was 5-5, then they went up 9-5, and you think you're good again. They blew like 3 leads that game. So
that was my play for the day, but with the pitching change, I think that's not. I might be just on idle today for sure. So let's look at the next spot. Milwaukee on the road against Pittsburgh. Milwaukee has one of the top ERAs on the road. They're flying high now. You think maybe there's an opportunity for Pittsburgh to jump in, maybe a little letdown after they wallop my Chicago Cubs?
It could be, but Milwaukee's got a good pitcher going today too. Corbin Burns, ERA under 3, and the way Milwaukee's bats are really tearing it up. I would bet Milwaukee. You would bet Milwaukee in this spot? Yeah, but I mean it's too much of a line right there. The run line on that game
if you lay 1.5 for Milwaukee, you're only getting minus 148. So
yeah,
clearly,
so not touch it.
No, that's pass. Dodgers at the Washington Nationals. You got Tony Gonsolin versus Patrick Corbin. The Nationals are a plus 118, minus 139 for the LA Dodgers. You think there's an opportunity for a home team here to steal one?
They could, but the Dodgers are the better team with the better pitcher going. I would lean towards the Dodgers.
Well, it's a pretty tight game to me across the board because they both win at similar rates. The Dodgers on the road and Washington at home. I have this power ranking wise. I have Washington's a little better at home than the Dodgers are on the road, which is kind of hard to believe and even almost harder to say. And as far as run differential, the home away run differential, it's 50-50. So if you're looking for a value play today, I think the Washington Nationals could be a good value play. I think that it's a 50-50 game. You're getting plus 118. So if you're, a 50-50 game should be plus 100. So you're getting 18 cents worth of value. I would circle Washington if you're looking for value in a game as a team that you might consider.
The only thing I would say about your numbers is the Dodgers are really starting to get healthy. There for a while, they were missing a lot of key players. So the Dodgers are going to start rolling here pretty soon.
Yeah, they could for sure.
Yeah. So.
So next game is Houston. I think they're the team. Well, I don't know if they're first or second, but they're up there for sure in terms of total run differential for the season. They're like number one, I think, in the league. And then they're playing the Cleveland Indians, who have a very difficult time scoring runs. I think Houston wins this game, but I can't bet it at minus 177.
No, Houston's been like minus 300 the last 3 days against Baltimore, and they've gotten blown out every game. The line that kind of intrigued me, since Houston's offense is struggling, and like you said, Cleveland has a tough time scoring, you could possibly look at the under.
Yeah, the total there is 8.5 runs. I think that's possible, but the way Houston scores, you could lose that in an inning, right?
Yeah, but they've just been really struggling. And the other thing is, if you are going to look at the money line, there is some value with Cleveland, I think, just from the fact that Houston struggled so bad against Baltimore, and Cleveland's a better team. So
getting plus 1.5 at home is only minus 107. So the thing about that, 70%, here's another interesting stat. About 70% of the games in Major League Baseball are decided by 2 runs or more. So the run line does come into play. But if you think about it, a home team just 50-50 that a home team wins a game. It's really about 54% going back many years. But let's just do 50-50 so the math is simple. If it's 50-50 and 70% of the time the games are won by 2 runs or more, that means 35% of the games the home team wins by 2 runs or more. So you have to get a line that's probably around plus 125 or more to make that bet happen. And that's the kind of value that we'll be looking for. And that's the sort of information that we'll be bringing to you in terms of, here at the Moneyline Madmen. I almost talked a little bit about our horse racing show there because I'm so used to it. But in that game, right now, the Nationals, you're right, everybody's loading up on the Dodgers. It looks like the bets themselves are about 60-40 in favor of the Dodgers, but damn near 80 cents out of every dollar is bet on the team from LA. So they're really hammering that Dodgers line right now.
Yeah, with them getting healthy and stuff, that's going to be a routine of people trying to make their money with the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm. And now we can move off to New York Mets and the Atlanta Braves. This is a game. I know you got Jacob deGrom with the closer ERA, what's like 0.069 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly it.
Mm-hmm. And he's facing off against Ian Anderson, a pretty good young pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. The Braves are plus 140 at home. 70% of the people are taking the Mets and about the same amount of money. So really not a lot of insight, if you will, into that game. But I think the Braves are another one that you can circle at a plus line. And I think they have at least, maybe not a 50-50 chance, but 48-52, somewhere in that line. And I think you're being more than compensated if Ian Anderson pitches a good game because the Mets are not one of the better road hitting teams.
Yeah, I would stay away from it. I don't trust the Mets with deGrom. They don't score a lot with him. That's for sure. And he gave up a run or 2 last time, which was unthinkable. So I think you get him back he's going to go 6-7 innings and give up 0 or 1 run. I wouldn't trust it either way.
And then speaking of hot bats, and would Atlanta score 20, like a touchdown yesterday?
They won 20-2. That's the other thing. Now, do you go? It works both ways, like we all know. Atlanta's bats could just be rolling, or they scored all their runs yesterday and they'll be cold today.
Yeah, they scored the runs for a week for sure. Now, here's an interesting game to me: the Colorado Rockies and the St. Louis Cardinals. The Rockies, by far, are the better team in terms of power ranking, home versus the Cardinals on the road, and they much better scoring team at home than the Cardinals on the road. The Cardinals just struggled beating Pittsburgh in their own stadium, and then the Rockies are like a Jekyll and Hyde team at home. They're winning at about a 64% clip. On the road, they can't win at all. Whereas the Cardinals are only winning at about a 40% clip on the road. So this is the third home team with a plus line that I would consider taking.
Yeah, this one I like. I'm not making an official pick, but I would go Colorado all the way here. You're getting value. They're just as good as St. Louis, and as far as with the home. And St. Louis, their bats are kind of cold. Colorado's pitching starting to really be good. I've been following them as far as home favorites, which they're not reaching the favorite in this one. They'll be close.
No, they're a little bit of an underdog, yeah.
Yeah, but them as a home favorite is a profitable thing too.
And then you have the San Francisco Giants versus the Arizona Diamondbacks to close out the day. In Arizona, this is a team that struggles to win no matter where they play, but they were on like a 15-16 game losing streak for a while there in the season. So San Francisco laying one is minus 148 on the road. The Diamondbacks are getting plus 125. This is not a home team where I see any value in it. In fact, I am going to bet since the Phillies line moved on me, I'm going to make the San Francisco Giants at minus 148 because you're still getting value at 148. So there's no reason for me to step up to the run line. I'd hate to see them win 4-3, but I'm stepping up. My official bet is a San Francisco Giants beating Arizona Diamondbacks at minus 148.
So my play of the day is going the other. It's going San Fran, but I'm going to go the run line minus a run and a half. San Fran's got the most wins in the Major League, and Arizona has the most losses. And San Fran's also 6-0 versus Arizona this year, and 4 of those 6 were by more than 1 run. And then San Fran's third best bullpen ERA at 3.28, and Arizona's third worst at 5.29. And then you look at the starting pitchers: San Francisco, Johnny Cueto, 3.63 ERA, and Miro Kelly is at 4.73. So a lot of things trending San Francisco's way. And the run line minus 1.5 last time I checked was minus 103. So you're almost
it's plus 100. So it's actually moving.
Oh, okay.
It's moving against you.
That's okay though. That's a little bit more value.
So when you look at the public and the folks that are on this game, 70. Actually, there's a little bit of the sharp money is actually on Arizona. Only about 20% of the tickets are bet on Arizona, but roughly 25% of the money is on Arizona. So you're getting some sharp money thinking that Arizona has a shot to come win this game. It's baseball. Anything could happen. Too many 6-run innings against me this year for me not to know that.
And I believe San Fran's lost 3 in a row too. But I'm looking at that as they're due, and they'll take it out on the worst team in the major leagues right now.
Well, the gambler's fallacy. They're due. Yep. I know. That's how I feel a lot of times. I'm due, and then of course it doesn't really work out that way for sure. That's how it works. So Sean, we don't have a website yet, folks. We're working on it. We're building. It's going to be moneylinemadmen.com. It's going to be a social site. So it's going to be kind of like the Facebook or Twitter, if you will, of sports betting. So it's going to be a community. You can come in, make a group. If you want to talk baseball, you want to talk football, you want to talk soccer, we can talk soccer. We can talk anything you want to talk. Once the site is live, we'll go ahead and make that announcement. Just go on and join. Absolutely free. There's no obligation to do anything on there. It's like, again, just a community of sports-minded people that want to talk about sports betting as it explodes across the country. For people who want to find us online on social sites, Sean, where do they go find us?
Facebook and Twitter, Moneyline Madmen.
Facebook and Twitter, and Moneyline Madmen. That'll be our URL as well once the website goes live.
Yeah.
And then a little later on tonight, our sponsor, Horse Racing Radar, Sean and I will be with the normal crew for the Players Edge podcast. If you horse racing's your thing, you can join us there. Where can they find us there, Sean?
Horse Racing Radar on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube.
And who's our guest today? Is Sophie Doyle, right?
Sophie Doyle, yep.
So we'll be talking about Prairie Meadows racing in the heartland in Iowa. If you've ever been there, there's like a highway and there's like a track right in the middle, and then it's like the focal point of that part of town. All right, that wraps up the first day of Moneyline Madman. Sean and I both agree that the play of the day is the San Francisco Giants. I'm just taking them on the money line. Sean's taking the run line. If you have any picks, comments, make sure you join us at Twitter or Facebook. Let us know what you think, what you'd like for us to talk about. And heck, if you have any questions, let us know. Until then, good luck at the window.